All right, today we're going to map out exactly what it takes to become a certified HPE Edge-to-Cloud architect. This is a role that's becoming absolutely essential in modern IT, so let's dive right in. So let's just start with a really direct question. With data exploding everywhere, think factory floors, retail stores, you name it, the old ways of doing IT are starting to break down. So you got to ask yourself, is my skill set actually ready for the hybrid cloud world that's already here? And that's really the heart of the matter. The IT world has fundamentally changed. And because of that, companies are now desperately looking for pros who can build that crucial bridge, the one that connects the data being created out there at the edge with all the power of the cloud.
So, to really wrap our heads around the opportunity here, we've got to break down the basics first. Why is this edge-to-cloud model such a huge deal right now?
When we say edge-to-cloud architecture, what does that actually mean? Well, simply put, it's not about two separate things. It's about creating one single, unified IT environment. The whole idea is to get a seamless flow of data and computing power all the way from a tiny sensor on a machine back to the central cloud and then back out again.
This really gets to the core of what a modern architect has to do. You almost have to be bilingual. You need to speak the language of traditional on-premise IT, which, let's face it, tons of businesses still rely on. And at the same time, you need to be totally fluent in the flexible, as-a-service world of the cloud. Mastering that whole spectrum, that's the key. Okay, so if that's the challenge, what skills do you actually need to meet it? Let's break down exactly what a certified HPE Edge-to-Cloud architect is expected to know how to do. And let's be super clear here. This is not about memorizing a bunch of theory from a textbook. The whole point of the HPE0-V27 certification is to prove you have practical, hands-on skills. It validates that you can actually go out there and design and deploy these solutions in the real world. The role of an architect really comes down to three key things. First, you're an analyst. You have to dig deep and truly understand a customer's business goals and their technical headaches. Second, you're the designer. You architect a solution that is perfectly tailored to solve those specific problems. And third, you're the presenter. You have to clearly show the decision makers why your solution is the right one. All right, so you get the what and the why. Now let's get to the important part, the how. What's the best way to really master this stuff and nail the certification? Just winging it isn't going to cut it. You need a structured approach. The best kind of training always combines a few key pieces. A really deep explanation of the knowledge, a clear study plan so you don't get lost, learning methods that actually work, and of course, a ton of practice. You really need every single one of those components. And yeah, speaking of practice, this is really where the rubber meets the road. We're talking about 244 practice questions. And the goal isn't just to do them over and over. It's to get so familiar with these scenarios that when you see them on the exam, or more importantly, on the job, you're totally ready. Good preparation actually uses a little bit of learning science. Things like spaced repetition, where you review material over increasing periods of time, and active recall, where you force your brain to pull information out of memory. These methods are proven to make knowledge stick for the long haul. It's all about studying smarter, not just harder. So at the end of the day, the goal is really twofold. First, you've got to be ready for the exam. You need to know how to look at complex scenarios and design the right solutions. But even more important is the second part, real-world application. This means knowing how to take key HPE solutions like GreenLake, their platform that brings the cloud experience anywhere, and use them to solve a customer's actual problems. That right there is the real bridge from certification to career success. So, you put in all that work, what's the big payoff? Let's talk about the real, tangible career benefits you get from earning this certification. Well, first and foremost, it's about credibility. This certification is a clear signal to the industry, to your boss, to your clients. It proves that you have an expert-level command of this really critical technology. And that credibility, it leads directly to opportunity. It opens doors to bigger projects, more senior roles, and positions that might have been just out of reach before. In a competitive market, it just makes you a much more valuable, sought-after person. And this is the ultimate payoff. This is way more than just a new line on your resume. It fundamentally repositions you. You become a trusted go-to expert for designing the exact hybrid solutions that modern businesses are so desperate for. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. This isn't just about getting a certification. It's about the impact you're going to have.
Once you're armed with this expertise, how are you going to help businesses harness that explosion of data at the edge? What are you going to build on that bridge to the cloud? Where will your expertise take you next?